Let's talk about Parasite the Grey. It's based on a manga that I have not read, so I went into this with no preconceived notions and I enjoyed it a lot. So, in Parasite the Grey, aliens are invading Earth, except these aliens are as small as the ping pong ball, basically, and they're out here snatching bodies, and their goal is to survive, and they need humans to survive on Earth. We never find out where they came from. We just know that they have one instinct, and that is to survive. There's a community of them. They call each other kin, which I will get into, and they just get inside the human, destroy the host, and take over. And they want to take over the whole world. One of the people they take over is named Suen. And the problem is, Suen was attacked by a man, stabbed brutally. I was in shock. And so she was basically dying when her alien, I'm calling her alien, takes over. And so the alien had to do some repair work before she could take over the body. And as a result, instead of taking over Suen, they bonded. And so now Suen's a hybrid. And so is this whole thing. There is a governmental force called Team Grey. Their mission is to find the aliens and take them out, shoot them. And they have one captured that's helping them hunt for the others. It's very interesting. Let's talk about it. I found the Suen character very relatable. I love that she's gone through her entire life feeling like a monster, and now she is a monster. I also love that she's gone through her entire life feeling helpless, and now she literally has a monster inside of her whose sole purpose is to protect her, to give her that protection that she sorely needed when she was younger, and that Chumin, Detective Chumin, gave her when he took her out of the house. But clearly she is traumatized and is very, very wounded. Her father was essentially a parasite in the home, and how he treated her and how he treated the mother, and it led to the mother making a very cruel choice by abandoning her. And the mom further made her feel like a monster by essentially treating her like she's a reminder of the father. It was so very sad. And I really enjoyed the journey of her learning to make peace with Heidi, and Heidi taking her inside of herself and her subconscious to essentially like build her up. I love the way her storyline ended. I love Kang Woo. He operated like a parasite. Like, he was a parasite in society. He was a pariah. He was selfish, only thought about himself. However, he had a heart of, not gold, but he had a heart. I just love the tenderness he had towards his sisters, the pain, loss, and grief that he had to deal with over the course of the series, and trying to help his remaining sister. I love that his other sister's sacrifice essentially changed him. I love that it took a long time for him to become proactive in terms of helping out. Jun Kyung, captain of Team Grey, not to be messed with. She was such a hard ass and also a badass. She was a great human foil to Suen and team. I also thought I was caught by surprise by, I forgot the other detective's name, but the fact that he was working with the parasites without being like snatched. Like, he wasn't possessed, he just was slimy. As for the parasites themselves, I found them very interesting. Like I said, their sole directive was to survive, and they call themselves kin, but they don't operate like family. There's no tenderness, there's no affection, there's no loyalty. However, there was loyalty, so they had a human characteristics in terms of the fact that they have a leader, they had a hierarchy, and this was all before the betrayal. They had assigned roles, and those assigned roles fostered dynamics. They weren't a community, and the only thing that bound them was survival and taking out anyone they deem a threat. And then their leader becomes very human in the way he's moving, because he wants power. He's after power, and he's willing to kill those who follow him and trusted him to attain that power. So even though the parasites present themselves as one-dimensional, trying to survive, I did find them very complex. I love the special effects. I love the way the parasites fought each other. Even though a lot of it was shot in the dark, as they are wont to be shot, I still found it easy to follow. I enjoyed the show overall. Unfortunately, there's still no news about season 2, and the show's been out for months. So that'll be disappointing if we only have one season. But if you've made it this far and you haven't watched this show yet, I highly recommend checking it out.